I got a great memory exercise for you today. This exercise is going to test your creativity and your memorization skill. So the main idea for this exercise is that you're coming up with methods, techniques, or systems to memorize information you never thought about ever memorizing. For example, when I memorized cow patterns, I never thought I needed to memorize cow patterns, but I needed to for the game show. So here are the steps. So the first step is to look around you. Think of information that you really never thought you would ever need to memorize. That could be maybe patterns in the carpet, the holes in the ceiling, if they have like tile ceilings. Memorize all the petals to a flower, all the leaves to a flower. So think of something just absolutely crazy and weird. But you also want to think about how you need to recall that information. How are you going to test yourself? So for example, if you memorize all the patterns on the floor, maybe they're like in little squares or something, squares or rectangles. And so how are you going to recall that? Are you going to visually, say the first tile, look like this. Maybe kind of look like a panda or something. So is that how you're going to recall it? You need to recall the exact order of all these different things. So that's what you need to think of as well, because it doesn't really make sense to memorize something and not know how you're going to be tested. So that's the first step. Find something to memorize. Find something extremely weird and odd, because that's really going to test your creativity and really test your memorization skill, how much you've been practicing and how quickly you're able to come up with a method. So the second step is to spend 5 minutes coming up with a method, system, or technique to actually memorize the information. Now the reason I'm giving you 5 minutes is because if I give you an hour or day, you might come up with a really great method, system, or technique, right? But that's not the point of the exercise. The exercise is meant to make you act quickly. So only having 5 minutes, you're just going to be thinking really fast. Oh man, what's going to work? Maybe this, maybe that. And so you're really pushing your memory, because you're really forcing it to act and come up with some sort of valid method, technique, or system. So you're only going to have 5 minutes. Now, you can stop right there. Boom, you're done with the exercise. But there's a third step that's optional. And this is for people who are crazy like me. And so the third step is actually memorize the information. So say if you came up with the flower, okay? You want to memorize all the petals and leaves on a flower. So what you're going to do is this. So maybe the way that you recall it is you want to know exactly how each leaf looks or the position of each leaf. So maybe you take a picture of the flower before, okay? Because of course you might move it around to get like a better look. But you want to know the original layout of that flower. Okay, so you got that, then you come up with your method. Maybe you're going to put like a petal on a location in the memory palace and maybe describe what the petal looks like. Maybe it has like little lines in it and one has like 15, the other has 13. So you put that information in the corresponding memory palace location, okay? And so you're actually going to memorize that information. Now maybe give yourself 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what you decide to come up with. It might take a little bit longer. So if you do something like the tiles, all the holes in the tiles in the ceiling, that might take a little bit longer just because of how many holes, how many tiles you have. So, give yourself an appropriate amount of time. And so actually see if your method works. That's what's cool about the optional third step. You're going to see if the method, technique, or system you came up with works. And so that's pretty much the whole challenge right there. Find something to memorize. Spend 5 minutes to actually come up with a method to memorize information. And the third step, which is optional, actually memorize information. And so, in the next video, I want to give you some different ideas that I actually memorized, because this is something I'm really excited about. Some things I memorized just randomly are the food in the grocery store on different shelves, book titles and authors in a library, and so, something weird I really never expected. So in another video, I'm going to give you some different things I actually memorized and how I memorized them, just to show you the thought process I came up with in those 5 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.